Hello, this week, Next Gen Millionaires. How you doing? I'm Joe Burns. For those who don't know me, and I'm the Money Master. Really, what I help people do is disrupt uh, their money mindset in a way that they can unlock the answers already inside them. Right? You have all the answers you need. You really do. We do as humans, and sometimes we just don't know how to unlock them or get to them the way we want to, so uh, we can improve ourselves. Right? Really, that's what my goal is for all of you. So this week, I want to talk a little bit about a couple of really fun subjects. Well, I think they're fun, but as always, when it comes to money, y'all know me. Like all the subjects are fun, and well, always not so much fun for everybody else. But this week, I want to talk about accountability and community, uh, and how they go hand in hand, especially on money journeys. You're going about trying to change this perception, change the way you're feeling and thinking and interacting with money. Accountability is key because then we don't like lean into the fear and stop doing what we want to be doing. And community is awesome because then they can help cheer us on and help celebrate our wins and support us when things get hard. Because I'll tell you what, things do get hard. Um, so this week is kind of an interesting week um, as I've been thinking about accountability and community. This week I'm running in my paid group coaching program. We're running a little accountability challenge. For those who don't know, I run a program called Procedures for Prosperity, which is a 12-week program um, that includes some of me, includes some group coaching aspects and some coursework, really helping you get your money mindset more aligned with the goals you want to accomplish. Um, so I mean, in a nutshell, that's what it is. But anyways, in that group, so this week, like we have group calls every other Thursday, and at the last one we were at, um, I noticed a trend, right? And this trend was about some fear about their goals they had set, and just how they were feeling overall. Uh, so one morning when I was running, I'm like, "Oh, I know what I'm going to do to help them." And I'm like, "Hey guys, how about we do a challenge for a week?" Okay, and here's what it looks like. It looks like we're going to wake up every morning at whatever time we all decide. We're all across the United States, so there's lots of time zones to think about here. We're going to hop on for like a 15-minute call, and we're just going to set like on Monday, we're going to set a weekly goal of how much money we want to make. And then every day, you're just going to we're going to check in with the group and say, hey, this is what we're going to do today to move in the needle towards this goal. Okay. Seems simple enough, right? Now, I knew that this wasn't going to be a simple challenge because I know how it works with accountability. And when we really focus on something, and especially when we're focusing on money, all the stuff that's going to start coming up. Okay. And things do come up like these emotions and am I good enough and I'm busy but I know I have this goal I set and like all these things come up. Like I've been part of many accountability groups, so I understand like what's going to happen in the time frame of a week. Now I don't know how it's going to end, right? I just want to put that out there right now. Those following along, I'll talk about that next week. But thus far we're only in it just a few days, and it's amazing to me what's happened when it comes to the accountability piece and when it comes to the community piece as well. The accountability piece is pretty awesome because everybody's holding everybody accountable, even myself. Like I joined this challenge along with all of those participants. Okay, so I have a daily task to do, I have a weekly goal I want to hit, and they're holding me accountable. Okay. The other cool part about the accountability piece and kind of blends into the community piece I want to talk about is the support that's there. Like we're holding each other accountable to say, hey, did you go do this task today? And also the support that everybody's giving each other when we're like, hey, yesterday was a tough day for me. Right. I've heard that plenty of times already. We're only 3 days into it. For some people, they're getting up really early outside of the time frame when they usually get up. For others, they're pushing themselves with their current workload to try to expand a little bit. And it's not crushing them, but it's pushing on them. It's creating chaos and some disruption. And a whole bunch of emotions are coming out. Some It's interesting because the community and the accountability piece and hey, I gotta think of stuff. Some have found like new money they weren't even anticipating already this month. this week. Some could be old contacts. Like there's a bunch of them, there's a couple of them like old contacts. Like, hey, I had this person I reached out to, but I never heard anything back. I'm going to follow back up with them. Right? We've put our mind in a state where we can be open to fixing maybe some of the business mistakes we've made, like not reaching back out to people, looking at what do we want to do and being super focused about it, doing some things maybe outside of the normal routine for the week. And it's really cool to watch because there already been results just a few days in, right? There's one of the participants who was really grumpy about the whole thing, but opted in. Like it's been that's a different funny story. Her first goal was gonna be, hey, I want to make $5. Like she's not in a launch cycle, not actively, like she has a schedule for things coming up, right? So she's like, I don't even have like I'm not even in the mechanism of making money in my business right now. That's coming in like in a couple of weeks, right? I'm gonna launch the stuff and have some things planned that are gonna bring revenue in for her right now, and she's okay. But she's like, fine, I'll do $5. And then she got like a refund that morning. She's like, this is crazy. And it was for $5. And the next day, she's like, fine, I'll do $100. Right. And that same day, she got like a $150 gift card from somewhere. Right. So some fun things have started happening because we've been focusing on what can we do right now, right today, because we're saying it out loud to people. Here's a part of accountability. Accountability is important because even if you have accountability partners where you don't, right, when we look at the energetic laws of the universe, whatever they may be, right, whatever we say out loud, it starts that creation process. So I'm a huge fan of power statements or declarations for ourselves that might not sound true, but say them out loud and they will become true. That's why writing down the goal outside yourself, telling somebody about your money goal or your business goal for the year is important. Because the more we keep inside of us, the harder it is for it to be created on the outside. So accountability is key, right? Telling somebody what your plans are, what your goals are, and helping them come to fruition because we have to report in. I know for a lot of people, some people don't like accountability because I don't want to have people telling me what to do. But if we take accountability and think, hey, how can I be supported by somebody else in what I want to have happen? Like in all my one-on-one clients, even my group clients, like I love getting goals from them because then I can help keep them accountable for what they told me. Now, accountability is different than shaming, right? There's no shame in it, whether you hit it or not. Like most of the time, I don't even care. I say all the time, I don't even care. I want you to get what you want to get. There's no shame in it. But let's talk about what happens in the common parts of the process of you trying to get there. But if I don't know what you're working towards, it's hard for me to check in. So if you don't have an accountability partner, I would say find one. Incredibly powerful when it comes to personal development and business development and really working towards what we want to get to. If nobody knows what you want to do, it's hard for them to even like say, hey, listen, I know somebody who can do something. Second, right? Community. I've created a community of people who have all had similar experiences. So when one person has a meltdown, everybody else really knows what they're going through. Now, it doesn't mean they've lived the exact same experience. That's impossible because we're unique human beings, but we've all been in those places. The cool thing, too, that you also get from community of people is that you can have people champion you when you're feeling down on yourself. Like if you're not feeling like hey, I'm having a rough day, you have people who can help lift you up. Okay. Like-minded people working towards a common goal. And that common goal is everybody reaching their individual money goals in my group. It becomes a real powerful thing. Right. And it's interesting as I've ran this challenge this week of, again, like the people who've reached out to me, right? Because I tell them, and we have a Slack group, and I'm like, hey, listen, you can reach out to me. Let me know how you're feeling. And some of them have, and some of them haven't. They've chosen to deal with their meltdowns by themselves, which really hurts my heart because I'm like, hey, I'm here to help and support you, but I can't read minds. Okay. So it's been fascinating. So when we look at our money, when we look at what our earning potential is, when we look at what we want to accomplish and the goals we have, because think about it, guys, it's like the beginning of February. We're already 1 month down. How are you working? How are you towards the goals you set for this year? Right. That's the question that really sparked all this in my group. How, like, the month one's over. If you made as much as you did in month one, would you hit your month 12 goals? Right, for the whole year? Like, would you make enough? And most of them aren't on track. And there's no shame. It's like, okay, let's fix it. Let's figure out why. That's what I'm always interested in. Why? Because when we can ask ourselves why, we can start to come up with a real problem. And when we can fix that problem, then all the rest of the things start to work out. If we have accountability and we have community, then we have the support we need to reach our goals. So the challenge has taught me a lot so far. It's interesting to see how this group has moved forward and how they're responding to some of the pressures of just being like, hey, we got to get on and we got to like help each other out every day. Right. And we'll see what the results are at the end of the week. Like, that I'm not quite sure about. I know people are going to reach their goals. Some of them have, like, say, already found money they weren't anticipating. Some have already decided that they're going to switch up their goals. Some have decided that, like, hey, I'm going to actually play in, right? After a couple times of being like, I'm not sure what's happening. So it's interesting. But what I do know at the end of the day is that when we have accountability and we can find a community that can support us in our money goals, then we can accomplish what we're after. Okay. So just think about a couple of thoughts here. Like, most of today, like, kid you not, as you watch this, like, you'll look back and say, Joe's really thinking, I'm really thinking a lot about this because human psychology is very like interesting to me. And as we mess with money and as money messes with us, it really starts to shape how we can see ourselves reaching our goals and how we can see ourselves making the impact and leaving the legacy that we're really ultimately trying to accomplish. So, just some thoughts around that this week, um, and just see, right? Maybe, like I say, find an accountability buddy if you don't have one. If you're trying to reach your goals, you're like, this is struggling. You don't got to struggle alone. And if you're looking for community, find a community. And if you need some help, like, chat with me because I got a great community of people who love supporting one another when it comes to money. Right? They're all getting it, which I love because most of the time you can't talk to people about money. But that's what it's all about. So hope you found this insightful this week. Drop in the comments if you have any questions and just, like, have fun with this, right? Have fun with finding somebody who you can team up with, right? And you can really help not only yourself, but somebody else hit the goals they're looking for. Because as we make this world a better place, we all win. That's really what it's about. So until next week, we'll catch you later. Bye.